Hi guys, it's Emily from Nobel Novels and welcome to today's video. This is my series for 2024. Now, I am not reading loads of series like in total this year because I'm just reading off my shelves. I'm looking at what I've got on my shelves I think I've got most of my kind of organised kind of ones-ish here. There's only 2 series that I'm reading in full as far as I know, as long as I know that they're not getting any more books out. There's only 2 that I'm starting and finishing this year. That's if, like I said, the authors don't put any more books out. There's only one of them that might. But I've got quite a few series that I'm continuing. Whether I've got a couple of books left to read in it, 1 book left, I don't know. I'll flag it until I see how I'm going at the start. I've got 2 series that I'm starting this year at the moment, I know. This is at the moment. I'm flagging it. I'm playing it by ear. I do not know loads. But these are my plans for this year. Like I said to you in the other videos, I'm going to be gentle on myself. I'm not putting too much pressure. But this is the plan. It's the series that I'm carrying on with. How I do, I don't know. Are these authors going to bring out more books in the series? No, my luck, yes. Elaine Everest has got so actually I'll say that one in a minute actually when I've carried on. But let me tell you the 2 series that I'm starting this year and I'm going to be reading through. One of them, the first one is the series that I'm starting in total it'll be starting in March and then I'll be reading it. I don't know how I need to use my BookTube planner and work out exactly how I'm going to do it. Actually, that's a good point. Actually, I might get my BookTube planner out in a minute. So this is the Heroes of Olympus series. There are, I think, 5 or 6 books in this series. And they start with the Lost Hero, which is one I'm starting in March. There are 3 new heroes, 1 missing demigod, a curse that threatens to destroy them all. And then it goes, "What do you want from me?" she screamed. "What have you done with him?" "Annabeth," said the bald dude. "Butch, we gotta leave. Let's get these 3 to camp and figure it out then. Those storm spirits might come back." She fumed for a moment. "Fine," she fixed Jason. And then, so it's Jason, Piper. So the 3 that are new ones that we're meeting are Jason, Piper, and it looks like Leo. But it's connected to Annabeth. 1 missing demigod. I wonder who the missing demigod is. And then, yeah, they're going through that. So I've got no idea. This series, there's a new series that I've also got the. Obviously, I read the Percy Jackson series the year before last. I thoroughly loved that. Didn't read. Was collecting this series. I think there's another series that I've got that's next. At the moment, the only ones that it says here in the Heroes of Olympus is the Lost Hero and then the Son of Neptune. But I own them all. So I've got another series of his that I'm starting next, but I don't know what that one is. I know it's not going to be that one. I can't even bloody remember. But this looks good. Got the whole series. Does look like there's some connections with Gods in the Greek. I like the fact that at the end of this series it does say, at the end of this book, it's got the gods in the Lost Hero, so we know what gods we're going to be meeting. Do I read that first? Yeah, I think I'm going to. This first one is 551 pages. This is not a short book series. This is a 5 or 6 book series. They are chunky, but if they're connected to Percy Jackson series, and I love the Percy Jackson series, so I can't wait to read this. So I started on my birthday month in March, and I'm going to be carrying on, but I need to plan this one. So this one I'm going to put that to one side because I need to plan out when I'm going to read all of the books. And then the next series that I'm starting and reading this year is one that you know that I would have probably read by the time the first one of this series by the time this goes out, and this is the Reputation series by Lex Croucher. This is the first one. I don't know what this series total called, but it's connected. So it's like for fans of Bridgerton. There are 3 books. There's Reputation, and I cannot remember the next 2. I need to plan these down better. But this is the first one, and there's 2 other ones. I know there's Trouble, and I think there's another one. One called Trouble, and another one that I cannot remember the title of the name of me. But it looks good. I wonder if they've been sneaky to tell me what the next one is. Probably not. But it's written by Lex Croucher. I absolutely loved Loved, loved, loved. I know other people, the YA book by this author, The Gwen and Art Are Not in Love. I love that. I heard of this series via Katie. I know I'm reading the first one in January and the second one will be ready in May because it will connect. No. Just in July, so it'll be ready in July. God. No, I think I'll read the third one in July. I'll read the third in July. I'll try and get these books ready at the start. So I thought starting in January, I've got to finish them in July because there's only 3 books. So I'll save the third book for July and then I'll plan that in. God. But let's have a look. So apparently it's for fans of Bridgerton. It's set in the Regency era. This one is Regency got a little bit more rebellious. Abandoned by her parents in favour of a sea view, middle-class Georgiana Ellis has moved into a new town to live with her dreary aunt and uncle. At a particularly dull dinner party, she meets enigmatic Frances Campbell, a wealthy socialite and an enchanting member of the in-crowd. Though Frances and her friend Georgiana are introduced to a new world of wild parties, drunken debauchery, mysterious young men with strangely alluring hands, and sparkling upper echelons of Regency society. Ooh, very posh, but very nice. The fact that Katie's liked this series makes me want to read it. I cannot wait. Actually, I'm going to need to note for that because I need to write down when I'm going to read those. Now to the series that I'm continuing. So, as you already well know, I read the second in the Long Way to a Small Angry Planet series this month. I read that at the start of the month. I've got the next 2 to read, so I'll probably try and spread that out, probably April, and then spread it out that way. And the next one is Record of a Spaceborne Few. Record of a Spaceborne Few, and this is the 3rd in the series. I've got to read the 3rd and the final one. And this one is about, let's see if we've got, okay, I don't know much about these, but I know that I love the second one. Centuries after the last humans left Earth, the Exodus fleet is a living relic. Okay, humanity, Tesha chose to stay at home with her brother Ashby, while her brother Ashby left for the stars. But has to question her decision in the fleet when the fleet is threatened. And it's like Kip, a reluctant young apprentice, itches for change but doesn't know where to find it. Sawyer, a lost and lonely newcomer. And, okay, is looking for a place to belong. When a disaster rocks an already fragile community, those Exodonians who still call Fleet their home can no longer avoid the inescapable question. I don't know how this connects to the first book. Obviously, the second one really connected well, so I don't know how this one connects. This is probably I think this is my second-hand one, and I don't know what the last one's going to be like. But I know that I absolutely flipping loved Long Way to Small Angry Planet. I love the second in the series. I just can't wait to read this. I absolutely can't wait. So I'm not going to set myself a time limit. I'm looking at these lists, by the way, and I do not have very many contemporary books on this list. It's got to be good. So the next one is the Before the Coffee Gets Cold series. Sneaky peek, you're going to see this one on the February TBR. And this is Before Your Memory Fades. I've read the first 2 books. I've got this one, and I've got the 4th book in hardback because it came out in pink and it looked pretty. I know these books will break me. I know they're a translated fiction that I absolutely loved. I think the 4th one might be the last in the series. I kind of hope so. But I paid full whack for this. This is the 3rd novel in the series. We all know that, obviously, when you go to the cafe, you get to go back. And apparently in this one, you're meeting the daughter who resents her deceased parents for leaving her orphaned, the comedian who aches for his beloved and their shared dreams, the sister whose grief becomes all-consuming, and the man who realises his love for his childhood friend. And this is about how, obviously, your past can affect your future, and would you travel in time? When I read the first book, I got completely broken into a flipping million pieces. It made me sob my heart out. I know this will make me cry, because every time I read books about going back to meet people that we've lost, I always think of Dad, I think of my nan, my mum's mum, I think they're the 2 people I would probably go and see the most. But obviously I've got my other grandparents and things. But yeah, if I went back, could I go and see those people? But also part of me would like to go back and see the young me. I think I might do a video. I don't do very many videos about going back and things like that and time travel, but it does make me think about what would you go back to do? Like, I would love to go back to the old me and see and tell her how to have hope that she would find herself. Yes, she'd have to wait a bloody while, but she'd find herself, she'd find her community, she'd find her jam. That's what makes me think. This one, even thinking about this makes me emotional, but I can't wait to read this in February, so I need to get off my bum and put that upstairs. Bloody wait. Cannot wait. Now, the next one is a one that I read, obviously, The Wolf Den last year. It was one of my favourite books of last year. The lovely Jack from Spreadbook Joy gave me this for my birthday last year, and I'm saving it because I want to read this probably like April or May time, because I know that The Temple of Fortuna is coming out in May. I know that I left The Wolf Den desperate to read the second one, so I kind of want to have a little bit of a... So whether I think I'm going to save to read this in April, pretty much definitely going to read this in April, so I need to... I'm putting this all on my side because it looks like I wasn't going to be doing BookTube planning today, but looks like I am. I'm filming this on the 17th, so it looks like I'm doing a bit more BookTube planning. But I know The Wolf Den left me desperate to read The Temple of Fortuna, and that comes out in paperback in May, and so obviously, and then if I buy it in May, I can then read it June or July. That's my thinking. I don't want to give it too much of a gap. And this is basically Amara. I haven't even read this for ages, so even though I've had it like nearly a year. Sorry, Jack. Amara has escaped her life as a slave in the Pompeii's most notorious brothel. She now has clothes, fine clothes, a house, servants, but these are all gifts from her patron, hers for as long as she keeps her place in his affections. But as she adjusts to a new life, Amara is still haunted by her past. But in order to be truly free, Amara will need to be as ruthless as he is by a former slave master. Yet falling in love may prove to be Amara's downfall. Can't wait to read this. I'm so excited. I still can't believe Jack got me this. I can't wait to read this. I can't wait to read the next one as well. This is a series that I'm so excited by, and probably one that I'm most excited by. Now, to the one that I do not, one of the only books in this series that I do not own. Basically, this is the Bridgerton series. I've read books 1 to 4. I need 5 and 6. I've got 7, 8 and this, but I need 5 and 6. The only thing is, trying to get them second hand is proving a lot harder than I thought it was going to prove. So it might mean that I may end up out of my birthday money if I get any of these from Amazon for my birthday. The books 5 and 6 are on my wish list. If I get any of those off my wish list, that's not dropping hints to anyone, by the way. That's just me. I use my wish list as a guide for me to know which ones I need. If I get 5 or 6 for my birthday, if I get 5 for my birthday, then great. If not, I'm buying 5 for my treat in April. That'll be my April treat. I say April treat, but I've got books coming out in April. But that's my attitude. I'm gonna say sod it in April and buy myself the next 5, and then I'll grab myself 6, because I need 5 and 6 to finish the series, and then I can carry on reading it, because this series will probably be read second half of the year. Because the way I'm going, it will probably have to be read the second half. But I loved 1 to 4. I loved the Bridgerton series. I heard recently that I thought the 3rd TV Bridgerton was out in December, but it never came out. It's not coming out until April and May. So it doesn't put as much pressure on myself that I need to read. But I know that 5 is about Elodie, and 6 I think is about someone else. Don't know who 6, but I think 6 is about Francesca. But this is Charlie got me the one that's got the half stories basically. So I don't want to know. And this is what happened at the end. So Charlie got me this for Christmas, and I want to finish this series. I loved 1 to 4. Absolutely loved it. I loved it just as much as the TV series, if not more, which I know is controversial. It's light, cheesy Regency read. It is easy to go. It's another one I want to read. I will be reading the 5th one in May, so I will have to get it in early April or end of March. If I get any Amazon gift vouchers or Waterstones gift vouchers, I'll have to order it. But yeah, this is a series I'm so excited about. Historical fiction. Bloody love it. Can't wait to read it. Do not need to put that on my shelves. They can just go away, because I can't plan it until I know what I've got, which ones I've got. Next to a series that I know that I've read the first 2 books, and this is The Vanishing of Aveline Jones. This is the 3rd one that I got myself last year. I don't know if she'll do a 4th one. I don't know yet, but I know that Jack from Spreadbook Joy is like this one. I know I loved the first 2, even though they're middle grade horror. Scared the crap out of me. Bloody love them. And this one is about Aveline, who's determined to discover the truth behind her uncle's mysterious disappointment when she travels home with Mum and Aunt Lillian. After years of hoping Aveline's uncle would return, they finally decided to sell his house. But Aveline and Harold have other plans. Ooh, spooky, spooky, but middle grade. I love it. Now to the next one series. I've read the first two Bella Ellis Bronte mystery series. I've got the third one that I've got. This is the third one that I've got, and I will be buying the fourth one at some point soon because the fourth one comes out in February in a paperback. Again, if I've got any of them in paperback, I will keep them in paperback. If I've got some of them in hardback, I tend to do that. Well, sometimes I get a bit excited and just say sod it anyway. But I did love the first one. The second one was all right. I don't know much about this one. This one is about the Bronte sisters' first poetry collection has just been published, potentially marking the end to their careers as amateur detectives when Anne receives a letter from her former pupil, Lydia Robinson, that is impossible for them to ignore. Lydia has eloped with the young actor Harry Roxby. Following her disinheritance, the couple have been living in poverty in London. Okay. And we've got something along the lines of this: desperate and heavily pregnant Lydia has a week to stow to return what her husband supposedly stole, or he will be killed. Ooh. This one I think sounds like it's focusing on Anne quite a bit, this one. So I can't wait. I love Anne Bronte, and I love it's all the connected, and Bella Ellis. It's historical fiction. I hope I like this as much as I like the first one, because the second one wasn't as good. But yeah, can't wait to read this. Then to another book that I've had on my shelves for ages, because Charlie got it for me for Christmas last year, Charles Heathcote, and I still owe Charlie's bloody Christmas present because I'm crap at that. This is Dawnlands, which is the third in this series. I've read the first two and I loved it. And what the heck? Why can I not find it? I do not. Right. Yeah, I read Dark Tides. I read Tidelands. Tidelands I loved. Dark Tides I enjoyed. I am going to need to get off my backside and read this because Charlie got it for me last year. It is a chunky monkey book, but it is absolutely stunning. I was going to read it in January, and I was going to read it in February. I keep putting it off. Probably will maybe try and read it in March. But this is about, obviously, it's the third in the series. I should have said at the start of this video that if you don't want to know about the earlier ones in the series, oh, sorry, people have guessed, but they won't, they'll know the spoilers. This is about Ned Ferryman, and it's inspired by the rebellion, and it's more about Queen Mary, this one, and that summons her friend Livia from the terrified court. Oh, we've got Queen Mary, and the King James, and the Duke of Monmouth. Okay, Livia drags her son Matthew and his foster mothers. Oh, okay, so Livia's been looking after Matthew and his foster mothers, Eleanor and Alice, in a plot to save the Queen from Monmouth's invasion. Matthew is rewarded with the manor of Falmire at the on the Tidelands, where Ned, Eleanor and Alice had once scraped for a poor living. Ooh, but this is bloody stunning. Charlie always gets me stunning books. I know, it's bloody gorgeous. I can't wait to read this. I am seriously, seriously excited about it. But yeah, so this one I'm going to be finishing this series when I read it eventually, and we'll get off my backside. And then to another one that I got given for Christmas this year, but I think this was by Kat. Yeah, from Kat from Brews and Reviews got me this year. And this is part of the Ballroom Blitz series, which I loved. And I've read all the series. I didn't even realise that this was the next one, because I know Anton de Beck started another series last year. And this is absolutely stunning. I didn't even realise he was carrying on the series, and then someone spoke about it. And I love that series. I absolutely bloody loved it. And this is about, so this has got two timelines though. This has got Ray Cohen in 1926, and then his name that he's in the Ballroom series, and that's Raymond de Guise in London 1941. So it's the two timelines, and so it goes back to his past when he was Ray Cohen, and he changed his name, and he's led astray by Hugo and dazzled him, meets a dazzling stranger, Harold Blitz, and then in the current timeline that all the other books are written in, he's away fighting in North Africa, and his beloved wife Nancy must balance her position of head of housekeeping at the Buckingham Hotel whilst a new mother to their child, which I remember was a bit I loved. This is a chunky monkey book. I absolutely enjoyed it. The other ones, I cannot wait to read this one. It's nearly 500 pages. I cannot wait I am looking forward to this series. Let's see what else I've got in here. So yeah, the Royal Show was the start of another series that last year. And I read all of the other ones. So I've got all the other ones. This is like the next in the series. As to whether he continues it or finishes it, I don't know. We will have to wait and see. Now it's two series that I'm one series I'm starting, and then we'll see how it goes. Obviously, I've also remembered I've got the Amari and the Night Brothers next book. I've got the sequel to that I'm reading soon. I've got loads of other books and pieces. If I was to say every single one, I think this would take forever. But this one is the fine print, is another, the Billionaire series. And I read the third one because I got it sent it by Tandem. And one of my friends is looking at, got it at the moment. I hope she gives it back. She came over, borrowed it back, and then hasn't come back. I hope if you're watching this, I will want the third one back at some point. But I read the third one without reading the first two. So I'm going to read the first two. And this first one is about Rowan. And he's in the business of creating fairy tales, production companies, 5-star hotels, theme parks. So I'm going to start from the start again. Everything will be mine if I renovate Dreamland. Hiring Zara was a great plan until I fell for her. By the time I realised where it went wrong, it was too late. People like me don't get happy endings, not when we're destined to ruin them. And then Zahara, after submitting a drunken proposal at romance, criticising Dreamland's most expensive ride, I should have been fired. Instead, Rowan Kane offered me the dream job. The catch: I had to work for the most difficult boss I ever met. Rowan was rude and completely off limits, but my heart didn't care. Not least when I discovered his secret. So yeah, I've got to read this one, and I've got to read Terms and Conditions, and then I will read the final offer. Hopefully I'll get it back. Yeah, we'll see that. So that's the one I'm sort of continuing. And then lastly, a series that I'm starting this year that I'll be starting in March for definite, and that is Her Majesty's Royal Coven by Juno Dawson. This copy, I didn't realise it's battered. Okay. I'm reading this with Jack from Sir Bookjoy in March, and the next one comes out in paperback in June. So I will obviously be continuing it on paperback in June. So as to when I get it, when I read it, I don't know the second one, but so that's why in March, this one will be read. And the second one will be read, obviously, depending on how much I love this one, how quickly the second one will be read in relation to June. I know that this author has been raved about, this series has been raved about. It's fantasy, it's really like Witch's Coven, but I know a lot of people have loved Juno Dawson's work, and I'm really looking forward to it. Everyone knows about the series anyway, but known as a Majesty's Royal Coven, they protect the crown and country from magical forces and otherworldly evil. But their greatest enemy will come from within. There are whisperings of a prophecy that will bring its coven to its knees. 4 best friends are about to be caught at the centre. Looks really good. I know lots of people are worried about this, so I'm desperate to continue with that. I think that's about it on the series. Knowing me, there might be more. But who knows? This is my goal. This is what's on my shelves. I'm not going to get stressed. What will be, will be. We will see how I do. But if you got to the end of this video, obviously if you like, thumbs up. Not subscribe to me. Ring on my ding-a-ling. That kind of cadoodle. But seeing as the last book that I'm speaking about is Her Majesty's Royal Coven, if you got to the end of this video, leave a witch emoji. I love getting your emojis. I love chatting to you in the comments. Tell me what series you're looking forward to this year. What ones do I need to hurry up and get off my bum and read? What ones are you excited about? Let me know down below. I love chatting to you all in the comments. And I'll see you all soon. Bye bye.